And we're rolling.
Fantastic, thank you. First of all, apologies if it's a bit of a deep question, but it seems to be a tussle throughout the film, based originally on your book, between sort of how you view perhaps your own talent and whether it's a blessing or a curse. And how do you feel about it now?
It's definitely a blessing, obviously. I mean, when I was there in the moment, when I was 13, when I was 9, when I was 14, 15, obviously I thought it was a curse. But when my father, who had the vision, put me in a path to, it was just to a greater life, a life that of chances that he never had. And so I could never see where he was coming from, because all I wanted was just to dance and grow up in an environment that I could see my parents every day. But this art form, what it turned me into a stranger to them, because I had to go all over the world pursuing my father's dream, which was become this, the very first Black Romeo or something like that, which I didn't at the time, understand. But obviously, looking from my perspective, it was the best that can ever happen. I mean, even I'm here talking in English now to you, which, I mean, I couldn't, how did that happen? I could never dream this, so.
I mean, that it's an interesting balance, I suppose, between being, a father being an encouraging figure, or someone who's really forcing you to putting pressure on you to chase their dream in a way for you. How do you view being a father yourself now, then, with your children? Would you take perhaps more of what?
I would never do it.
No?
I really would never do it. I mean, I obviously going to put my view and everything, but I would give them choice that I never had, to be honest, because, I think I think everybody should have that choice. I mean, it's a great thing, and also the situation, you also need to value the situation. I was in an environment, I grew up in an environment which was very hard stuff going on. I used to be gangs in a world of petty crime already from the beginning, so he also see that, and so this is not going to work, and so, but my kids are a completely different thing. They live in an environment that is safer for them to make better decisions, and I will not definitely gonna be force them to do my will. Ultimately, it's their life and their choices.
And with regards to your journey, your pathway, there's the race issue there and being the first black man, but is it also an issue of poverty and class that is an obstacle in and of itself in the ballet world?
I think so. I think you said it. I think definitely it's the pool at the bottom, that if we don't have choices, we don't have all these black people and Chinese or, minority coming to that pool where the companies could draw from, already that is a problem in itself, because there is just a few of them. But so it's to understand into the family level, that it is a wonderful thing to, instead of going to football, that's fine, that's great, but try ballet. Ballet is also wonderful. You could have a great life, it make you strong in the mind, and what better world to be an artist, and so that is where we had to convince and do more outreach programs just to spread the voice that, this is a wonderful world.
Are you optimistic that change can be implemented, those attitudes can change?
It has been changing, I mean, if you compare my generation and now, if you go to a Royal Ballet, for instance, it's a better representation to the world that we live in today on stage, and so in English National Ballet, and so there are more. There's this black ballerina in ABT, Mitzi Copeland, and there is more and more and more, and more role models, great role models are turning up, and that gives incentives, and so that's how you do it. We're not nearly up there yet, but definitely something has been happening that is heading that way.
Right. And with regards to you mentioning about being an artist, and in the world of ballet you can be an artist, but in the film it's depicted early on that you clearly a fan, childhood hero was Michael Jackson and influenced you. And obviously what's happened since with regards to the revelations in the Leaving Neverland documentary, did you see it?
I haven't seen the documentary. I've been in queue for 5 weeks. I haven't been there. I just heard about that, but anyway, that it doesn't. I'm talking about the artist here. The music and the way he dance. I don't know, his personal life is his personal life, but as an artist, you need to just separate. As an artist, not just my generation, but the way he danced and the way it was in the 80s. It was common that everybody wanted to imitate him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. You've answered what I was thinking there. Can you separate art from the artist? And you can, perhaps,
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
it's be unfair to tarnish.
Because I really don't know what's going on. It's very obscure grounds, I'm just concentrating the artist.
Finally, just about where do you see your long-term future?
God knows, right now I had this directorship engagement with Birmingham Royal Ballet that starts in January that will lead me to new other projects and new other opportunities, God knows. But I'm very curious and I'm very optimistic in what the future lies.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks.
Congratulations.